Hey, welcome to my channel. One of my videos I uploaded recently, unfortunately, became taken off and blocked because of copyright issues and all that stuff. So I'll just have to talk about it versus showing some videos and such. I don't know why they copyrighted it, but it is what it is. Basically, you saw that Apple 2 days ago, WWDC basically. The developers conference came out, and they were talking more about some stuff like iOS 17 and such, but more the biggest thing was, I think, in this situation was, of course, the Vision Pro from Apple, which on price is about $3,500. They look like pretty much like snow goggles more than anything else. But the one thing is like how it's different from the Meta Quest visor, as well as the Microsoft HoloLens and even Magic Leaps, is in this situation, it's from Apple, one thing. And two, it has one of the features it has was spatial audio, as well as spatial imaging that's involved, as well as the fact is like it's got two chips, one specifically for the West type of thing, and the other for like actual spatial recognition and such. Um, and the one aspect is basically with the goggles, you have the ability. If you want to go to Apple's site, apple.com, you can see some of the videos there where it's some of the benefits and uses of AR. I think more of a case where we've seen these goggles, AR VR goggles, more than anything else, or AR goggles, more for the benefits of gaming more than anything else. I think gaming and in the amusement world, amusement park world, that works in that aspect as well. More for the entertainment aspect more than anything else. For the home features more than anything else, I think you could see this where Apple is trying to push this with Apple TV to the point where like they were trying to prove out a point where basically with the video in place right there on your eyes, you can have the ability to have it as a small screen or a much larger screen, as though like you're immersed in a movie theater and type of thing as well too. To the point where like you can still see things outside of the realm of being aware of your surroundings, or to locking it off and basically sort of dwelling into a sort of reality of your own basically. And the other aspect was too, which was interesting. I got to see how this works. I don't know if they're going to work it out entirely. Was when it came to FaceTime, and you'll be able to see you. The thing is that how they're going to see you is supposedly with the internal cameras that have in place that are looking at your eyes and such. It's supposed to have some sort of spatial recognition of what you are doing. So if when you're talking like this, the video that's being displayed on FaceTime to people that are not seeing the through goggles but through laptop or phone or tablet will still be able to see it, sort of like an avatar type of thing more than anything else. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Another nice feature about this was with the Quest and HoloLens, it's not more of a case where you need a device to control it and such. Where in this case, some situations with this, you can just talk to it, but then also with the gesture of your finger, recognize it, and know that you want to, click onto an app or expand something out or whatever it may be. It'll be interesting to see when a virtual keyboard comes on and if it recognizes that, or will you need a special device on your hands to do that as well too. I'm interested to see. The other thing I was not too sure about was the audio part. It has spatial audio to the point where like almost like these, almost a little bit like bone induction, but in the situation where you can still hear, other people can still hear you. So I mean, honestly, they'll be able to hear what you're looking at basically at that point too. So in reality, it's not truly private from that perspective. If you are like, let's say, watching a movie, others can actually hear what you're watching at that point. Or if you're talking to someone, they can still hear your conversation and such through FaceTime or video chatting, whatever it may be. So I don't know how that will work out. It'll be interesting to see what happens next year when this comes out. But again, I think the most biggest thing else, you'll see it more than anything else, is for the gaming world. I think Apple TV is going to try to get, or Apple's going to try to get into the gaming world and make their Apple TV side of type of thing, or Apple TV service like the Netflix world as well as the Steam world, and try to create that gaming aspect as well too. You got the video content, but now I think they're going to try to create the gaming content as well too, and put that all into this device at this point as well. So because the fact is, Microsoft, you saw Microsoft, they bought out Activision, they know gaming content is something, and they need to get their Xbox in play. If this succeeds with Apple's Vision Pro, look for Microsoft to go full on with their HoloLens and tie it into the Xbox world as well too. Don't be surprised of seeing that. Question is will Google follow suit at that point? Because Quest has something at this point. It's more for the gaming world as well too, as more for educational purposes, similar to this in this situation where you want to do some simulations and such, just work out in that aspect as well too. But I think the bigger one that I think you most everyone will see is with this is the Vision Pro is the ability to basically be at home and probably no longer needing televisions in front of your home at that point. Because if, well, unless you want a family night type of thing, yeah, but if you're a single person, you just have these goggles and that's it. You're good. You really don't need a TV at this point. And it's the same thing almost with a case of tying it into your MacBook or laptop. You no longer need those big screens. You can have multiple screens at that point. That's really great to the point of like, you know what? If it ties into, in a ways of Bluetooth, to the MacBook, and you know how people have one screen with a Mac and then like multiple screens at that point, this can actually work out to the point where like you don't need the screen on your laptop. Mac Mini, all you really need is a Mac Mini, and then you just have your different screens at that point, and you're good at that point too. That works out. Of course, you're going to need the physical keyboard. If you can get a virtual keyboard, that's great. But again, we're not, that has to be flushed out. But you can still use a physical keyboard, still seeing stuff, and that's perfect. I think that works out perfectly as well too. The only thing now is that this is like the price basically is $3,500. Are you willing to spend $3,500 for something like this? A lot of people have tried and failed. A lot of companies have tried and failed. I mean, Google tried with their Google Glasses. It wasn't like this. They were trying to make it non-intrusive, but didn't really work out. They tried to go the enterprise route, didn't really work out. It's going to be interesting to see because, like, the fact is, like, content is going to be a big factor for this. So you got Apple TV; they don't have as much content, but they can push towards it. And then with MLS, is another big factor. And now, if you saw at the keynote, basically, you saw Disney coming out. So Disney Plus pushing out content into this as well too would work out really well because when there's the Disney Plus content plus the Disney World Disneyland experience where you're going into one of the theme parks and one of the attractions, you'll have this at this point as well too. And then look for other companies to follow suit with this as well too, to be quite honest. And Microsoft trying to push theirs HoloLens into it as well too for those attractions, like at Universal and at any other attraction, Six Flags, whatever it may be. And who knows, down the line, we might see something where apps are based on these to the point where, like, in the sporting world, the game world, players themselves will have, you know, like these specific cameras on them that you go from their point of view, basically. And of course, you know, specific with tech growing as such, specifically in the sporting world, you'll see all these cameras here and there as well too, that you'll be able to probably be immersed into it at that point as well too. The specs are interesting, but the thing is like the one interesting part is I don't know how it works without the battery, but there's a battery and like it's a little dongle that goes into a battery pack, which only lasts for 2 hours. I don't know how that really works realistically speaking. If in the working, you know, walking out, I don't see people walking outside with it. They actually had something to the point where like they were showing a demo, or not a demo, but in the video of a person on a plane and putting this to watching a movie on the plane. Yes and no, because let's not forget, you've got all that. If the spatial audio works great, but the thing is, you're going to be hearing things still no matter what, and especially on the plane. You're still hearing things. And the other thing is like with this, and you're watching something, people will be able to hear what you're, you know, watching basically at that point as well too. So I'm going to kind of curious to see how that works. Because like I said, bone induction technology, this almost works in a ways, but yet doesn't for me. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm just going to cut it quick because it's 10 minutes are coming up. I'm going to cut it quick, so please let me know your comments in the comment section. I do read my comments. I do respond to them when they warrant a response. Also, if you like my video, like my content, like my channel, please subscribe. If you don't, but still watch the videos, please subscribe as well too. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed. Until next time.